Hello, welcome to Elevate Your Wellbeing. This is episode number 9. How are you feeling today? So before we dive in, make sure you have your journal. This is going to be a bit more of a fully extensive journaling practice podcast today. So grab your journal, and you're going to be journaling throughout today's podcast episode. Hopefully you have curtains open, you've got some natural light on you. You might be enjoying this if you're outside, go for a run or go for a walk. So you might listen to this podcast now and then dive into it with a journal later on. So it can be fun and sometimes it can be really insightful to see how you will respond to these prompts if you are outside having a run, go for a walk, whatever you're doing, or maybe you're just ready to dive on in. So do make sure you've got those, but make sure you are getting some natural light. As I'm recording this, all I can see, only if I turn around and look right over my shoulder, can I see any clouds. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous wintry, but feels like spring day. So hopefully you're getting to enjoy that when this episode airs. When it does, the moon will be the first quarter moon tomorrow in Taurus, which feels a very yummy time to be exploring the topic for today. But before I dive into that, I also want to remind you, make sure you have some water. Make sure you're staying hydrated. On that note, I'm going to have a sip. So 2 weeks ago, episode 7, I think it was, we dived into reverse engineering and really being able to achieve your goals. So you might revisit your journal prompt from then just to see what your language was like, because today's episode or this week's episode is really about mindset language to make your goals achievable. And goals can feel like a big word. I know some people get stuck around the thought of making goals. And goals are essential because they give you clarity and reason for being. If you feel unmotivated, unfocused, if you feel stuck, if you feel a bit bored, if you feel frustrated, most likely you don't set any goals. And setting those goals really, really help because they give you clarity for what you are trying to create. Goals help you if you're feeling stuck in any way because they give you clarity, they give you direction. And what we're going to dive into is our language around creating our goals, or our language in general. How is your language, especially to yourself? So this is what we call transformational vocabulary versus using a SMART goal. Now you might set goals and you think that's a really smart goal. That is something I should focus on. But are your goals really a priority? So do you write a goal because you feel you should? That's something I should focus on this year, and then you completely forget about it. Or something I find with a lot of the people I work with, they constantly refer to goals as being a work in progress. Now, there is an element of truth in this, but you're making a goal smaller means that goal is a work in progress. And it's diving into, are you calling it a work in progress because the specific goal that you've reverse engineered and made smaller, like a bite-sized action that you can do, is that still a work in progress, or are you on that? So you're on that pathway, that trajectory to be able to achieve the bigger goal. So sometimes our goals are too big, so they feel scary. We're not really sure how to take action on them, so we don't try and do them, or they're not actually a priority. So I want you just to visualize the life you'll have in a year's time, 3 years' time, 5 years' time, if you change nothing. So if you're able to, you might sit and close your eyes and reflect on this. You might be walking or in the car, you might be having a run. So really allowing your mind to clear, obviously, if you can safely. And just visualize, where do you see yourself in a year's time, 3 years' time, 5 years' time? Because 2023 is going to be no different than 2022 if nothing changes. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So what are your goals, aka how are you wanting to change your life? Because life is about growing, shifting. The only constant in life is change. Change is always happening. Just look outside and like I said right at the beginning, I couldn't see any clouds. There's another cloud now. That literally shifted in the last, 5 minutes. The weather's constantly changing. The seasons are constantly changing. Something is always going on, yet we wonder why we feel stuck. And if you are feeling stuck, I hear you. I've had so many occasions like that. But when I reflect back, I didn't really have any goals. I wasn't really focusing on momentum, moving forwards and creating this shift in my life and in my sort of habits and in my mindset and how I spoke to myself. So are your goals about changing your life? But are they too big so you don't take action? Or you feel you should do them because that's what everyone else does, but you're not really sure how to take action, or you're just really not that bothered. There's not the forward drive, there's not the momentum to help you create that change. Now, the reason I really, really highlighted why this is a nice time to go into this, like I said, tomorrow we have the first quarter moon in Taurus. We're getting a bit of forward momentum after the new moon. There's always more momentum as we move towards the full moon. And with the moon in Taurus, Taurus is all about the ego after moving out of Aries, but we're also moving from the ego to the self. What I mean by that, it's our self when we have our affirmations, when we come to the zodiac. Aries is all about I am, but Taurus is all about I have. I have. And you have that ability in you to really achieve the goals that you want to achieve. But changing the vocabulary, changing how you really use your words, your language, your mindset language can really help or hinder you. So what do you really want? What do you want? What do you want from life? So it might be, I want to be fit. I want to be healthy. I want to be organized. I want to be rich. I want to be happy. They're not very specific. So what do you really want? What do you really want? So one of my mentors dove into this with me, and it was that real aha moment. So taking a couple of those, like when you want to be fit, you want to be healthy. What's actually the feeling behind the goal? So do you want to be able to put on your swimsuit and feel so good and confident in your body that you walk across the pool and go and get yourself a smoothie and you don't have to worry about covering up because you're not self-conscious about how your body looks or how your body feels? What is it that you want? Really get into that feeling of what you want to create. This is that transformational vocabulary, because what does your goal actually mean for you? What is the goal really for you? Peel back the layers. How do you want to feel? How do you want to feel? And a lot of the time, there's something to do with a story that you've been telling yourself that's no longer serving you. So your mindset language, you're saying this goal, I want to be fit, I want to be healthy, I want to be happy. But do you have a story in the back of your mind that's telling you that you're not able to achieve that goal, reach that goal? What's stopping you? So if you're hearing the words right after you say your goal that are telling you, but you're too fat to do that, you're too old to do that, you don't have enough money to do that, you don't deserve to be able to do that, you are not worthy. There's a story there that's stopping you from reaching your goal. And transforming that vocabulary around your goal can really, really help you here. So if you haven't already, do get your journal out. And what are your goals? Are they really a priority? Is it actually a priority for you to do that goal, to achieve that goal? When you visualize your life again, where would you love to be in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years from now? What goals are going to help you to change your life, to feel the way you want to feel? If they're too big, go back and listen to episode 7 where I talk about reverse engineering, or book a one-on-one with me and let's dive deeper into your goals. How can we reverse engineer your goals? Those huge, big, scary goals that are just too big that you don't take action. Let's get you taking action on them. And really explore, what do you want? And dive deeper into that. What do you really want? How do you want to feel? How do you want to feel? And what does that mean for you? By achieving this goal, you'll feel this way, which means what? What does that mean for you? What is the goal really for you? And allow yourself to honor and acknowledge the story that you may have been telling yourself that's no longer serving you. It's time to release it and let it go. That's stopping you from receiving or achieving or reaching your goal. And I'm going to be diving into this even more on another podcast episode because I like keeping these shorter so they're a little bit more digestible and easier to work on. But just to highlight the element with Taurus is about I have. It's creating that identity of already having the goal that you're wanting to achieve. So as I wrap up this episode, I'd love for you to create yourself an affirmation, starting with the words I have. I have ... And allow yourself to really sit with this. And now you're aware of your language, you're aware of the vocabulary that you may be using around your goals, or you suddenly say to yourself afterwards, or maybe you even hear it around people that you hang around with. You know, we can't always choose particular people in our lives, and they might not be helpful. So sometimes it's about going out and searching for the people that help cheer you on. You want the cheerleaders to help you go, yeah, I hear you, and I'm calling that in for you as well. So notice the vocabulary you use and notice that language that you hear around you. How is it helping to lift you up, or is it dragging you down? And I'd love to know what your affirmations are. All of my details are in the show notes. You can contact me through Facebook, Instagram, email. What is your I have affirmation? What is your I have affirmation? And we're getting to the last couple of days that you can use your discount code to get onto the very first round of the 6-week wellbeing course, Embodied Vitality. Use the code in the show notes, click on the link to go through to the checkout, and you will get £222, your equivalent in your currency, off. So it will be 333 rather than 555 for you to get a group coaching session with me for 6 weeks, diving into your well-being, diving into your mindset, diving into how to actually achieve your goals, and so much more of the topics that we go into. If you're not ready for that yet, don't worry, we'll be running another round, but we start on the 2nd of February and doors will close on the 1st of February 2023. If you would rather a slightly different group aspect and you want to start creating your morning routine, come and join me in the Rise and Shine Wellbeing membership. and get daily 15-minute practices. You've got yoga, meditation, journaling, and loads more practices in there that you can do in 1% of your day. Thank you very much for joining me. I look forward to joining you next week. And I'm thinking of just sharing a meditation practice with you next week. So join me then. Otherwise, have a wonderful, wonderful week and take care.